What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Crimson Ghost Mask Room. Today we're live in the Cayman Islands. However, there's a problem here. I got no masks here. Back to Indiana. Oh God, we're back in Indiana. Unfortunately, I couldn't stay down there forever, but I had a nice long break. That's kind of why there hasn't been many videos lately. I was gone for half a month. Had to get some sun. It's been winter here. The climate sucks in the Midwest right now. So, back to a Frankenshrine video. We're going to start off with a really neat piece here. One of my favorite movies is Funhouse. You all know, if you've seen the movie, the crazy albino character. His name is Gunther. There's been several of these put out over the years by different artists. This one, however, was made by John Calpin around 1989 or 1990. Calpin was a special effects artist who made a handful of monster masks as portfolio pieces back then. John did go on to have a nice career as a special effects artist in Hollywood. And this, like I said, there's quite a few Funhouse freaks out there, but this is probably one of my favorites. I remember visiting Frank's collection. This was always tucked around this one corner on this lonely shelf with 3 other masks. And I'd look at it and I'd say, man, that's a really nice version of the Funhouse Freak. He had a couple versions, but this is my favorite of the 2 that Frank had in the Frankenshrine. Calpin did a really... I'm going to get the camera and show you this in better detail. The piece has like pale pinkish white skin, bloodshot eyes, awesome goo made of epoxy that runs down the chin here. Beautiful sculpt. I believe John was roommates with Guy Thorpe for a while in California. If those of you, some of you out there may know who Guy Thorpe is. But anyway, this thing is absolutely pristine. It's a beautiful, like new copy. I'm guessing only a handful of these were made. John originally made this particular character for a friend who wanted to wear it to a horror convention. So he sculpted it, made the mold. I'm not really sure on how many he produced. I'm guessing probably only a handful. Could have made 5, maybe 10 total. He's not numbered or anything, but I recently had him foam filled by a friend who did a killer job and made it just beautiful. It's got its gorgeous shape back. His hair is everything's perfect about this mask. Of course, Frank took very special care of his stuff. I've said that over and over, but man, this thing is beautiful, and I love it. I'm glad it's here. I've never had a Gunther mask ever. I love the movie. I've been searching for the Frankenstein mask forever. Then my friend Billy goes and sells one to another friend of mine. I'm like, I didn't know you had that. I would have bought it in a second. I have this one. So now I'm still on the hunt for that Savage Eye Frankenstein mask that was used in the film. If anybody has one, please get in touch with me through Instagram, and I'd definitely be interested in purchasing it. So, what else can I show you from the good old Frankenshrine tonight? Let's take a look. Check this out. So this is one of the coolest masks in this room, in my opinion. This is the 6th Finger. I'm sure many of you are going to recognize this character from the famous Outer Limits episode. The original makeup for the episode was done by award-winning special effects artist John Chambers. He came up with the character design, the alien creature design, I should say, and did the original makeup for that episode. This particular mask was put out by, actually, Death Studios did it, Distortions did it. This is the Death Studios copy, though. The Death Studios mask was developed through using the original molds from the show, and I think other face castings and whatnot. But this is a very tough one to find. I love it because it's in the really old, like 1982 Death Studios ad. It's like a black and white ad where they showed Dr. Phibes, the Sixth Finger, and the Gargoyle all in a straight row in photos. I'll show you a picture of that. And, I mean, this is, Frank always had the only one I've ever seen as far as the Death Studios copy. I think he probably had his tailor make this little shirt for this particular mask. Like I said in the past, Frank had a tailor that would make special clothing accessories for his pieces. I don't think it came with this from Death Studios, but it looks really cool. It's very simple. It's a little square thing with a collar. You could tell someone took the time to sew the edges nicely, so it wasn't all tattered. They probably cut a shirt out, you know, obviously, and made this. But so some people have a hard time telling which is which. So the Death Studios version will have a straight neck, okay, like this. The Distortions copy, the Distortions Unlimited version, will have like a bib, a latex rubber bib that comes out. So the mask comes down a little farther and wider, and that Distortions mask will have the bib. So if you ever see one with a straight neck, that's the Death Studios copy. This thing is amazing. I mean, I was hoping to go visit Jeff this week, and I just could not get out to do it. But when I go see him, I want to bring this with and show him, because this is a really, really old Death Studios mask, and it is in pristine condition. I mean, the mask is perfect. Frank, obviously, like I say, took excellent care of it. It sat on a shelf for years. It was never foam filled. He was getting quite dusty. So when I brought him home, I sent him out to my buddy in California who recently foam filled it. And I mean, he got the shape perfect. Everything is so beautiful about this mask. And now he is definitely going to be preserved for many, many years with that foam filling. But that is one tough mask to acquire. Just so excited that I actually own this, because this is it's something I would see down there at Frank's all the time when I'd visit him, and it always stood out because he's such a stark looking character, and it's one of the most recognizable images in science fiction film history as far as a character. I mean, this is such a, this guy just stands out. Everyone has seen him at one point or another if you're into sci-fi films and TV shows. So, just awesome. Alright, let's see what else we could find. Send in the clowns. Okay. Do you know what this is? This is a Death Studios Mad Jack clown mask. Frank is the only person I knew that ever had one of these. I've got old photos I found in Frank's things where I think the exact mask I'm holding was in his collection back in the late 80s. I believe Jeff produced these at Death Studios around 1988 or so. This is definitely in the 89 catalog, but he didn't have eyes. His eye sockets were empty, but I like, that's why I gotta talk to Jeff. This could be, it might be a catalog copy. It's got really great eye inserts. There's another Death Studios mask here with eye inserts that, hang on, that I definitely am going, that I'm going to go show Jeff. The old gremlin here. This is an amazing mask. I think we could have talked about this before, but this gremlin has eye inserts as well, glued in. And I think this is the 1985 catalog copy of the Gremlin. I'll show you that image. I mean, the eyes look exactly the same. And if you look at this thing in person, the green matches up absolutely perfect. So it's not like I don't think he sent this somewhere and had eyes put in it. I think Jeff did all of this at some point. I think Jeff did all of this at Death Studios. And even though the original photos were washed out, I mean, I think this is that mask. You can just tell the similarities. So I cannot wait to show both of these to Jeff Death and just say, are these catalog copies? The Clown, the Mad Jack is definitely a rare mask. It probably wasn't for everyone back then. I mean, clown masks weren't a huge thing like they are today. I think it's really cool. Being a monster guy back in the day, I don't know if I would have ordered it, but man, is it neat. Again, it's got this custom collar. I'd have to look at the catalog photo to see if it actually came with this. It sure may have, because Jeff did do some things kind of like this on other pieces at the time, from what I remember. He made the Killer Clowns, and they all have bibs. I think he probably sold this mask with this collar, but when I go visit Jeff, I'm taking these suckers with, and just trying to see, like, are these the actual catalog copies? This particular one needs some cleaning. He's very dusty. He has some splotchy mold spots. All of it should come off with no issues. It should come clean and look really good by the time I'm finished with it. But these are two masks that are rarely ever seen in Death Studios collections, especially a Gremlin in this condition. I mean, this is probably one of the nicest ones you'll ever see. And this is an original old school copy. Frank had this for a long time. Came straight from Jeff. And I'm guessing when I do the next Death Studios video, this one's at least a catalog copy. This might be the catalog copy. So, and like I said before, Jeff laughed. I said, we were talking about Frank, and he goes, Frank was so particular. He goes, I would get the mask back in the mail with little notes, saying, I need this eyebrows off. You need to fix this. You got to fix these teeth. This ear needs some adjusting. The paint's not right. So in the end, Jeff said, I would just send Frank the catalog copies and say, you are getting the best copy of these masks. And there's no complaining now, And we laughed because Frank was so particular with what he wanted on these things. So, all right, is there one more here we could fit into the Frankenshrine episode tonight? Let's see. There's got to be. And there's so many more videos coming. I've got a whole series coming on the Halloween Society pieces. That's going to take a lot of work because I really want to explain to you everything I possibly can when it comes to those masks and busts. Hang on, let's take a look. Hold on, everybody. Whoa! That is the Hideous Sun Demon. Yes, sir. This is an old favorite of mine, because there's an old picture of Forey Ackerman that I cut out of like the National Enquirer when I was a kid or a teenager, and Forey's head is there with a bunch of masks on these shelves, and the Sun Demon, his copy of the Sun Demon, was in that photo. And ever since I saw that back in probably the 80s, I always wanted one of these. This was Frank's from the Frankenshrine. This is an original copy from the movie mold, okay? Not many were made out of the movie mold. Other molds have been made since, and there are, some blank castings floating around out there, but this is one of the originals. Gianbattista Casarino is the person that originally came up with this creature design, from what I remember. So the mask was worn by Robert Clark in the 1959 film titled The Hideous Sun Demon. The movie was black and white, so nobody really knew what the color of the Sun Demon was supposed to be. So, it is known that there's one reddish-orange copy, one, There's a pale green copy from the original mold. And then there is a purplish. The other was turquoise and purple, I think. So I've seen other blanks out there recently. One was offered to me. It was green, but it's not one of the originals. It's like a recast. Just cool. Just a really neat creature design. I really love 50s sci-fi, and all those B movies are just, you know, who doesn't? If you're watching these videos, you probably love all that stuff too. So I would see this at Frank's. It would always remind me of that old picture of Forey Ackerman. You know, I think I have that on file. I'll post it in this video. But just so cool. This is a really nice copy. Nothing, no hallmarks of any kind, unfortunately, but pretty awesome. Just thought you guys would like to see this because definitely stands out. Everything else in the room, like this just stands alone because of the creature design. All right, man, is there anything else? Those cats are going crazy upstairs. All right. So the last mask I'm going to show you tonight is hands down one of my all-time favorite pieces in Frank's main collection room. I would see this thing on the shelf. I know I keep saying the same stuff over and over, but I would go down there, I'd look at this mask all the time, and I'm like, man, it's so nice. It's just, it's weird. It's 50s B-movie, strange, off the wall. This one was sculpted by Carol Hicks, the great Carol Hicks. She is an amazing sculptor. She's done so many great character masks. An actress by the name of Sandra Harrison played a teenage vampire in a movie called Blood of Dracula back in 1959. Carol sculpted this mask of her as the vampire, and it is just, it's so cool because it's so strange. It's not, you know, her work wasn't strange. Her work's incredible, but the character is just so weird. The hair on it is awesome. David Lady painted this thing, to my knowledge. I'm guessing Laura Lady did the hair work. Check this out. Look at this sucker. This thing is so cool. Look at her. I'm going to show you on the screen now what the actress in the film looked like when she was done up as the vampire. I mean, just look at this thing. Would you look at that? Would you look at it? It's just, it's so well done, you know? I don't know how else to explain it. It's like a simple character. It's you know, it's someone's face, but man, that just the whole execution of the paint, the sculpt, the hair, it's so strange. I just fell in love with this thing a long time ago. Very few are out there. I've only seen 2 or 3 copies ever. Of course, Frank kept this one so beautiful. I gotta get some, there's a little fuzz stuck in the hair, but even the hair has its original tie or braid in the back. When this thing was put together and made by the ladies, it came exactly like this, sent to Frank. And I was so careful. First of all, I'd tell Frank's brother, I'd say, man, I want that mask so bad. And he would start messing with me. He would say exactly what Frank would say. He'd go, someday you'll get it. And I start laughing. I go, all right. And so I recently brought her home, and we kept calling her my girlfriend when I was down there, but what a cool piece. And I was told by my buddy Dino that this is the nicest copy known of this mask. Of course, Frank kept it perfect. But I think a lot of the paint on the other ones could have faded, maybe due to the light they were in. You know, this one was in the dark most of its life, and it just looks brand new. It's not cracking. That's a little, you know, little line in the rubber sculpture. Like they didn't clean that off good enough. It's just like a I don't know, a blemish. But this thing's perfect. I mean, cool, weird paint scheme, and watch the movie. It's a crazy old B movie. I might watch it tonight to celebrate me finally bringing her home after seeing her down there for so many years. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Artifacts of the Frankenshrine. There's so much more to come. And I may be buying out another collection. Some people came to me with a private collection that's for sale. So I've been working for a couple weeks on pricing out over 100 masks in this collection that's coming up for sale. A lot of good stuff, a lot of strange things in there, a lot of just, it's amazing when I see different collections out there, because everybody's taste was so different, you know. Like, I love going to the next collection where everything's completely different than what's in my room. I don't want to see the same stuff every time I visit a mask collection, you know. So this collection is really neat. I'm hoping I get it. If not, it's not the end of the world, but there'll be some really neat stuff to talk about on the channel. I may actually do a video on the person that owned the collection, possibly. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. And if not, I'm still doing lots of Frankenshrine stuff coming. And more just Crimson Ghost Mask Room videos. Oh! Those of you that are attending Mask Fest 2023 this year in Indianapolis, August 18th, 19th, and 20th, 2023. This summer, Indianapolis, Mask Fest / Horror Hound. Horror Hound's a big horror convention. Mask Fest is a big part of that convention. And yours truly is going to have a big vintage display at the show. I'm building custom display cabinets and the whole works. And I'm going to pick out a nice selection of really rare stuff to display where people can come and see it in person. If you're into this stuff even a little bit, I'm telling you, go to Mask Fest. It's so cool. Horror Hound is amazing. You know, it's all together. It's 2 shows put together. And there'll be people doing autographs and, you know, photos and all that stuff, actors and all kinds of cool merchandise for sale. But Mask Fest is the best part of all, because there's lots of masks. A lot of, not a lot of vintage stuff, but lots of, all the modern mask makers are going to be there. Trick or Treat Studios will be there. Everyone's got displays. They're selling stuff. You can buy masks, and it's just the best time ever. If you're coming from out of state, get a hotel room. Stay at the not the Hyatt. It's the not Wimden. What the hell's it called? Anyway, I'll tell you later. But go to maskfest.com for more information. I'll be there the whole weekend with a cool display, like I said. And I might even be selling some vintage stuff on site. So bring your cash. And I'll see you at MaskFest 23. All right. Good night. Until next time on the Crimson Ghost YouTube channel. Whatever the heck this is called. All right. Bye. What's up, everybody? World.